Hello everyone, I am Maria Arabella D. Austria, and let's move on to calculating how much you can borrow. If you know the current interest that your bank is offering for loans, when you want to have the loan paid off and how much you can afford each month for the payments, you might then wonder what is the maximum amount you can borrow under those terms. To figure this out, we need to solve for the principal, and that is the present value. And you can do it in Excel by using this formula, which is the PV. And hinahanap dyan yung rate, the interest, number of periods, monthly payment, pwede mo rin lagyan ng future value or yung balloon payment, and yung types. And there are two types of payment, which are the type 0 or the at the end of the month payment, and the type 1, which is the at the beginning of the month payment. And to discuss further, to make you understand further, let me give you an example. For example, yung bank na pinagloloanan mo is giving you a, let's say, 11% annual interest, and you have been given a 5 years to pay, and your monthly payment is 2,500. And baka nagtataka kayo kung bakit negative yung monthly payment. It's because ito yung perang binabayaran mo, kaya negative ang value para ma-recognize ng Excel na ito ay outgoing payment. And 0 sa balloon payment, and yung type is 0 because this is at the end of the month payment. And to compute this, gagamitin lang natin yung formula, which is the PV, the rate, 11% divided by 12 for 12 months, and the term times 12 months, the monthly payment, the future value, and the type of payment. Pwede nyo namang hindi ilagay ito since 0 yung pero for the discussion purposes, ilalagay na natin. So, we have a 114,982.58. And gawa naman tayo ng type 1 payment. Yan. Same lang din. Same amount. $2,500. And then 0 naman. 1. Same formula lang din, which is PV rate 11% divided by 12, tapos term times 12, and then monthly payment, the balloon, and the type of payment. Yan. So, we have a 116,036.59 maximum payment on type 1 payment. So, to know the difference, tingnan natin yung difference. APS 116 minus this one. So, we have a difference of 1054.01. So, to differentiate these two, in type 0, or the at the end of the month payment, your payments are made at the end of the month, and the amount you can borrow is slightly lower than type 1. This is because your payments are discounted for a longer period, reducing their present value. While itong type 1, your payments are made at the beginning of the month, and the amount you can borrow is slightly higher than type 0. This is because your payments are made earlier, so they have a higher present value due to the time value of money. So, if you're going to ask me which is better between these two, I'd say type 1 is better if you want to borrow a larger amount or save an interest. If you make payments at the beginning of the month, you'll pay less interest over the life of the loan, and you can borrow a slightly larger amount. And that ends my discussion.
Good day everyone, my name is Christian Legaspi and I'm going to discuss the importance of working with mortgages. Sabi dito, for both businesses and people, a mortgage is almost always the largest financial transaction, whether it's millions of dollars for a new building or hundreds of thousands of dollars for a house. A mortgage is a serious business. It pays to know exactly what you're getting into, both in terms of long-term cash flow and in terms of making good decisions upfront about the type of mortgage so that you minimize your interest costs. So in this case study takes a look at mortgages from both point of view. So main content natin is when dealing with mortgages, it is very crucial for us to understand the long-term cash flow involved. By making informed decisions upfront about the type of mortgage you choose can help minimize your interest costs over time. So this means it is not just about getting a loan, but understanding how it will affect your finances in the years to come. So now we're moving into the building a variable rate mortgage amortization schedule. For simplicity's sake, it's possible to build a mortgage amortization schedule like the one shown earlier in this chapter. However, these are not always realistic because mortgage rarely uses the same interest rate over the full amortization period. Instead, usually have a fixed rate over a specific term, usually 1 to 5 years, and then you renegotiate the mortgage for a new term. This renegotiation involves changing three things. So the first one is yung interest rate over the coming term, which will reflect current market rates. So kasi the new interest rate will reflect what's happening in the market at that time. So kapag yung interest rate tumaas or bumaba, the new interest rate will adjust accordingly. Second one is your amortization period, which will now be shorter by the length of the previous term. For example, a 25-year amortization will drop to a 20-year amortization after a 5-year term. So, yung length of time to repay the mortgage will decrease by the length of term you've already completed. Sabi dito sa example, yung 25-year amortization period. If you've completed 5 years of payments, your amortization period will now be reduced to 20 years. And lastly, the present value of the mortgage, which will be the remaining principal at the end of the term. So, the remaining balance or principal left on the mortgage after the previous term. Ito yun. And at the end of the first term, this is what you still owe and it becomes the starting balance for the new term. So So now, I'll be discussing yung laman ng amortization schedule from amortization year to remaining principal. So, dun muna tayo sa amortization year. Sabi dito, this column gives the year of the overall amortization. This mainly used to help calculate the term period values. Note that the values in this column are generated automatically based on the value in the amortization years. So, sabi niya dito, cell B3. So, ang B3 dito is itong B and the 3. 1. So, amortization year is 25. So, this column tells us which year we're in within the overall amortization process. It is used to keep track of the loan full term, helping us understand where we are in the entire amortization schedule. So, if we have a loan that lasts 10 years, for example, this column helps us identify if we're in year 1, year 2, and so on after 10 years. So, ito abot siya ng 25 years. So, hanggang 25 itong amortization year dito. And we're moving now on term period. This column gives us the year of the current term. This is calculated value based on the value in the amortization year column and the value in terms year, cell 4. So, ito, like for example, if hanapin mo yung year terms ng 5, ito yan, P4. And in this column is a little more specific. It tells us which year of the current term we're in. But what's term in this context? A term could be a smaller chunk of the overall amortization period. So for example, if you are repaying the loan in 5 year, in fifth year yan, then the period will let us know if we're in the first, second, and so on within that smaller term. So the next one is yung interest rate. This is the interest rate applied to each term. You enter these rates by hand. So itong interest rate, it represents the rate that is applied to each term of the loan. So ito yan, interest rate. And you enter these values by hand, meaning you can adjust the interest rate as needed depending on the loan terms. And this rate is essential because it determines how much interest you'll pay over the life of the loan and influences the amount of the monthly payment. Sunod is yung NPER, or number of periods. This is amortization period applied to each term. It uses the NPER argument for the PMT, PPMT, and IPMT functions. You enter these values by hand. So the NPER column, it shows the amortization period applied to each term. Ito yan. This one. Essentially, it represents how long the term lasts, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, or another period. You manually enter these values, and this is important for calculating the monthly payments. And the NPR is used as the NPR argument in functions like, sabi niya dun, PMT, PPMT, and IPMT. And this tells the systems how many periods there are over the terms, which helps calculate how much you need to pay each period. So, yung PPMT function is used to calculate the principal portion of a payment for a specific period in an amortization schedule. And yung PPMT is principal payment, and it allows you to see how much of a particular payment goes toward reducing the loan's principal balance. So, for example, if you have a loan with monthly payments, PPMT helps you determine how much of a specific monthly payment is applied to the principal as opposed to interest. And yung IPMT naman it stands for interest payment. So, itong function na to is used to calculate the interest portion of a payment for a specific period in an amortization schedule. And PMT function is used to calculate the total payment for each period naman based on the loan amount, interest rate, and number of periods. So payment. This is the monthly payment for the current term. The PMT function uses the interest rate column value for for the rate argument and the NPR column value for the NPR argument. For the present value argument, the functions grab the remaining balance at the end of the previous term by using the offset function in the following general form. So, ito. So, yung payment column, it calculates the monthly payment for the current term. Ito yun. Yung payment column. And the formula behind this uses the interest rate for the rate argument and the NPR for the NPR argument. So, for example, let's say we're in the row E11. So, itong E and the 11. Ito yung $7,822.67. So, the term period for that row is 1. And from B11 cell. And the offset function will move the up 1 arrow and the right 5 columns because the principal value is stored in column J. And this will retrieve the value of the remaining principal from the previous term, and this helps calculates the monthly payment accurately for each term. The next two is yung principal and interest. These columns calculates the principal and interest components of the payment, and they use the same techniques as the payment column does. So, they use the similar techniques to the payment column utilizing the PMT, PPMT, and IPMT functions. But ngayon, they focus on how each payment is divided between reducing the loan balance and paying off the interest. Sunod naman yung cumulative principal and cumulative interest. So, in this column, it calculates the total principal and interest paid through the end of each year. Because the interest rate isn't constant over the life of the loan, you can use these functions instead. These columns are running sum functions. So, ito yung cumulative principal and cumulative interest. So, it tracks the total amount of principal and interest paid up to the end of each year, since the interest rate changes over the life of the loan. Mali. And lastly, remaining principal. So in this column, it calculates the principal left on the loan by subtracting the value in the principal column for each year. At the end of each term, the remaining principal value is used as the present value argument in the PMT, PPMT, and IPMT functions over the next term. So, sa column na to, it calculates the outstanding balance on the loan, diba, by subtracting the value in the principal column for each year. So, at the end of each term, this remaining principal is used as the present value in the next term's payment calculations.
So, allowing for mortgage principal payments, mortgage with extra payment, which is how extra payment can reduce your mortgage faster. So, this is understanding your mortgage payment. Your monthly mortgage payment is typically made up of 4 main parts: principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, often referred to a PITI. But today, we're focusing on principal and interest only and excess payment. So what happens when you make extra principal payments? When you make an extra payment and apply it to the principal, you reduce the amount you owe. This lowers the interest charge on future payments because interest is calculated based on your remaining balance. Let's say the loan amount is 500,000 pesos. In here, I have example rate of 7%, 6.5% dapat yan, pero nakalagay 7%. So, at the rate of 6.5 or 7% over a period of 9 years or 108 months. And for the date, ang formula na ginamit ko is e-date. Ayan. Lagay mo lang yung pinakaunang date na nag-pay ka or first payment na ginawa mo, and the months you want to, since monthly siya, Ayun, 1 lang nilagay ko. And drag down na hanggang sa 108 months. Ayun. So, ayun. Ilalagay lang natin yung beginning balance, which is the loan amount, which is equals, ang ginawa ko lang dyan, equals sign. Tapos, kinli ko lang yung loan amount, which is this C3. Ayan. And enter. And then, yung second column, equal sign, and click lang sa ending balance, which is H10. Ayan. So, sa ending balance, kinuha ko lang siya sa beginning balance, equal sign, beginning balance, minus principal, which is E10, and minus excess payment. Tapos, para sa payment naman, yun yung kinuha ko lang sa monthly payment, which is nasa, siya, taas. Nasa C7. So, bali nilagyan ko siya ng equal sign para matik na siya. And, paano nakuha yung monthly payment? So, dalawang formula ang ginamit ko dyan. So, equal sign round and PMT. Negative PMT para hindi maging negative yung kakalabasan ng answer or yung bibigay. And then, yung C4, which is the rate, and i-divide ko siya sa 12 months, and then, comma, C6, which is the months, and C3, which is the loan amount, and then C5 is for the years, and ni-round off ko siya sa dalawa, or yes, sa dalawa. So, equal sign. And ang lumabas is 6,127.32. So, para makuha naman yung principal, minus ko lang yung payment and yung interest. Which is dito, D10 at F10. So, sa interest naman, ginamit ko yung ni-round off ko siya sa dalawa. And then, so, beginning balance, times yung rate, which is 6.5% or 7%, divided by 12, and equal sign. So, kung napapansin nyo, nilagyan ko ng dollar sign yung C4, which is the rate. Kasi para yun lang yung kukuha ng, kahit i-drag down mo siya, is dun pa rin ang kukuha ng rate. Okay. So, bali, drag down ko lang yung 5, which is beginning balance, payment, principal, interest, sama na yung excess payment, and ending balance. And then, makukuha na lahat hanggang sa pinaka-last ng month, o date of month, na kalagay. So, ayan. So, mapapansin nyo, yung pinakadulo ng ending balance is negative 9.15. So, bali makikita na rin yan kapag nakuha na yung total principal at total interest. So, ngayon, doon naman tayo mapupunta. Paano makuha yung total principal at total interest? So, bali mangyayari dito, ang pinakaunang column ng total principal ay makukuha dun sa principal mismo, which is yung nasa E10. And then, the same lang as the total interest, which is nasa F10 siya. Ayan. And for the second column, ang ginawa ko is yung J10, which is the total principal, yung pinaka-unang column. At minus ko siya sa second row ng principal. Which is kailangan siyang i-minus doon. At yun na yung, yun na yung kabuuan. So, same lang siya sa interest. So, kunin ko lang yung pinakaunang row ng total interest na nilagay ko. At minus ko siya sa second row ng interest, which is 2,689.81. At yan na yun. Tapos, i-drag down ko lang siyang pareho at makukuha na yan lahat. Okay, since nakuha na siya, ayan na yung pinaka nabayaran na, or total principal. Doon sa pinaka last na period of months na kailangan mong bayaran, which is December 1, 2033. And yung 161,741.41 naman ay yung total interest na nabayaran sa pinaka-last na month or pang 108 na month. So, bale, may gagawin pa tayong isang step, which is ayan, total principal and total interest, tas yung original interest, ayan, at kukunin natin kung, or makikita natin dito kung yung interest na na-save natin, or kapag nagbayad ng, or yung sinasabi nating part dito ng excess payment. Ayan. So, for the total principal, ginamit kong formula is max. And then, from the J10, which is the pinakauna, hanggang sa pinakadulong month, which is drag down ko lang yan hanggang sa pinakadulo. At, ayan, equal sign lang. Hindi, makukuha mo na lahat. And, parehas lang na formula sa total interest, which is max. And from the K10, tapos drag down ko lang siya pinakadulo. And, equal sign. Ayan. So, for the original interest, kakopy ko lang siya. Kasi yan naman yung original interest. 161,741.41. So, nalagyan na natin ng peso sign. Ayan. So, doon naman sa interest save, equal sign, yung original interest, minus yung total interest, which is obviously magiging 0 siya. Okay, wait lang. Ayan, border lock natin. So, let's say sa excess payment, wait lang, lagyan lang natin ng kulay. Okay, let's say sa excess payment, maglagay ito na example na why si client is nag-extra payment siya or parang pauna for the next month ng, let's say, 500,000 pesos. Ayun, wait lang, lagyan natin ng peso sign. Ayan. So, yung interest save, hindi na siya 0. Mayroon na siyang extra 3,341 na interest save. So, ayan. So, bale, okay. So, making extra mortgage principal payment is a smart financial move if you can afford it. Not only does it shorten your loan term, but it also save your money in interest, bringing you closer to financial freedom. So, making extra mortgage principal payment is a simple but powerful way to save money on interest and pay off your loan faster. Even small additional payment can make a big difference over time.
To summarize the discussion, the time value of money explains why a peso today is more worth than a peso in the future. Loan calculations help determine monthly payments, interest costs, and loan terms. Amortization schedules provide a structured way to repay loans while tracking principal and interest payments. Mortgage planning and principal paydowns help borrowers manage debts efficiently. Understanding loan analysis helps individuals make informed financial decisions, manage debt, and assess risk. For professionals, it is essential in banking, auditing, and financial planning to evaluate loan applications, identify risks, and ensure financial stability for businesses and clients. Things to remember: use financial tools and calculators before taking out a loan. Be mindful of interest rates and loan terms to avoid debt traps. Continuously educate yourself on financial literacy to make informed financial decisions. This is important because imagine taking out a home loan without knowing how interest works. This could lead to paying significantly more than expected. Proper financial literacy prevents such costly mistakes. I would like to end the report with a quote. Mastering loan calculations and financial planning is not just about numbers, it's about making smarter financial choices for a stable future.